Now to the push to return to normal. While we have seen some promising milestones in the fight to flatten the curve, Governor Cuomo and some on the front lines are warning against a rush to return. CBS 2's Alice Gaynor live in Hell's Kitchen tonight with more. Alice.
Maurice, Governor Cuomo announced the creation of a task force. It consists of the heads of the civic, academic, and business communities. It's a long list, notable names you'll recognize: fashion designer Tory Burch, Madison Square Garden CEO James Dolan. It's all in an effort to help advise on the reopening of New York.
Governor Cuomo says New York will open on a regional basis. CDC guidelines state once a region has a 14-day decline in hospitalization, they may begin phased reopening. And businesses will reopen in phases. One is construction and manufacturing functions with low risk. Phase 2 would include more essential businesses with low risks of infection, and so on. And each must present a plan to keep workers safe, utilizing social distancing. Each region must also have at least 30% of hospital beds and ICU beds available after elective surgeries resume.
Your healthcare system cannot go over 70% capacity.
Testing, tracing, and regional coordination must also be in place.
The current recommendation is you need at least 30 tracers per 100,000 people. So we have to have that in place.
Nassau County Executive Laura Curran says her area is almost there. Today marks 13 straight days of declining hospitalizations.
That means we need one more day of declining hospitalizations to check that very important box for the CDC protocols for phase 1 of reopenings.
In Suffolk County,
we are getting closer to reaching that point in the CDC guidelines within the next week.
But there's more.
The second box that we've got to check is making sure that we have a downward trajectory of the number of people who are being tested positive. The third box to check for phase 1, according to CDC protocols, is ramped up testing.
Meantime, Nurses Union National Nurses United says calls to reopen the country are premature. It says, among other things, optimal PPE is needed for healthcare workers, including powered air purifying respirators, coveralls that incorporate head coverings and shoe coverings, and gloves. Otherwise, hospitals will continue to be places that spread infection.
The union says federal health guidelines must also first be strengthened. Live in Hell's Kitchen, Alice Gaynor, CBS 2 News.